In business, we most probably have come across a phrase, your network is your net worth. What's that ultimately mean? Really, it's about understanding the value in relationships you have. As a business, we should be obsessed about building relationships, growing our contacts, so in order to be able to grow and develop our businesses. How is it that we do that? Why is it that some people will go into a room full of strangers and they'll really struggle and they'll just shy away into the corner somewhere and pretend they're on their phones, they don't want to talk to anybody, and whereas other people just go straight into the room and they're like light up the room, they're like the life and party of a particular room. How is it that those two people are so different when they approach a room full of people? Well, often it's a skill that's learned. It's not something many people it comes natural to them. It certainly didn't for me. And I've been running networking events for more than 10 years. And we were just talking now, just off camera. How does that even work? Well, the reality is you learn how to do things, then you apply it and you get better and better at it. So you've got to start with the basics. So when you go out networking, you're going to a business networking event, a property networking event, the first thing really we should be doing is having a clear outcome in mind. What that means is, what's the objective of what we're trying to achieve? What are we going to do? Is it just a social, just to meet some friends? Is that really the outcome? And if that is, then fair enough. That means you don't really have an outcome other than just catching up with some friends. Or is it that you're trying to achieve something specific? You're trying to raise some money for a deal. You're trying to find a deal. You're trying to sell a deal. You're trying to get some understanding on how to structure a deal. Whatever it might be, you go there with an outcome in mind that you're trying to achieve. So then when you arrive at the room or you're at that room, really there'll be people there as well. They'll also be shy, and we should really just have a few icebreakers that we can use. Of somebody standing on their own, for example, I just go straight up to them and say, "Hi, my name's Saj, what's your name?" And then I'll just talk to them about, have you been to this event before? Do you regularly attend? What is it you do? Have a few questions like that up your sleeve, just stock questions. And what that means, it gets a conversation going. And when people start feeling a little bit more comfortable because maybe they're on their own anyway. And very quickly you can sense if somebody wants to explore the conversation as well, or whether they really just generally want to be on their own. And most people there, they want to meet other people. That's why they're there at a networking event. So often what I will do is I'll take time to understand them, to learn about them. What is it that brought you to this meeting today? What's one outcome that you're looking for? So I'm asking them that question. What would be a great outcome from this event for you today? Who would be somebody you'd like to meet today? And it may be somebody I don't know, and they say, well, I'd really like to meet a mortgage broker, someone that can help me with this query. And I'm thinking, who's the mortgage broker in the room that I can maybe introduce them to and connect them to? And so what I want to do is I want to understand them, I want to understand what's important for them, what is it that they're ultimately looking for, and is it something that I can help them? So really what I'm doing, I'm absolutely focused on how can I help and serve this person? And that's where we should be thinking about it. And it may be that we've got some business experience they can maybe benefit from, some property experience by giving them a bit of guidance, a bit of pointers. Or it may be that we don't really have that knowledge and we don't have that experience, and then we can't really give them this guidance or pointers. But if that's the case, we can still connect them with other people, i.e. we can still bring value to them and make sure that they have an excellent evening. So when I first started networking, I started understanding this. I would spend a lot of time just meeting people, talking to them, trying to help them and connect them. And people will get to understand what I did as well. And at that time, I was sourcing property deals. And then very quickly, what you find is people start referring people back to you. It's just natural reciprocity. People think of you and say, hey, you should go and speak to Saj. It's something that he could probably help you with. And then when we are speaking to people and we want to try and maybe introduce them to somebody else, that can be nice and easy. And say, hey, look, let me go and introduce you to somebody I think you could benefit from speaking to this evening or at this event. I'll take them out to somebody, even if they're chatting to somebody, I just kind of say, hey, really sorry to interrupt you. I just want to introduce you to Fred over here. Fred and I were just chatting, and I thought you two would be great to speak to each other because I think you have some common interests. Can I leave you two guys to chat? And then I can move on. And that's also a great trick as well. If you've got somebody you just want to get rid of because they're just following you around and they haven't got any other friends and they want you to be your best friend for the evening, it can be a great way to park them and connect with somebody else as well. Formal networking events are generally for an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours maybe. They tend to be short meetings where it's an opportunity to connect with people. And sometimes you'll find somebody that you might bump into and they want to do a full business presentation and a pitch to you as to why you should switch your utilities over to them because they think they can provide you a much better deal or whatever it might be. Now, you may not want to necessarily go through all that pitch and listen to all that, and you can rearrange a time to have that conversation. My preference is when we're networking like this, really I'm spending a few minutes to get to understand somebody, and I think if there's some synergy there, then we arrange a follow-up call. And the early days, what I'd have this fantastic business cards. I used to love my business cards, nice little picture of me on the side. Hey, this is what I do. Here's my contact number, here's my Facebook, my LinkedIn, and everything was there. But the reality is nobody cares what it says on your business card, but we go and throw them around like confetti, thinking that everybody should have my business card. But really, what we should be focused on is collecting contact details rather than throwing our contact details all around, because then we're also in control of that follow-up, of that conversation, that connection. If you give your business card to somebody, I'm sorry to break this to you, but most probably it's going to end up in the bin. Because that's what happened at the end of the evening. They empty their pockets and just chuck them in the bin. Very few people actually follow up and connect with those. Whereas if you're the person connecting, i.e. collecting your contact details, and you're organized enough to say, right, these are people I need to follow up on, then you're much more likely to translate that into business and build and nurture those relationships as well. Hey, if you're enjoying these Saj Daily videos, then what I'd like you to do is click on my face over here to subscribe to the channel, and also click on the bell in order to get the notifications when these videos are being released. Then what to do next is click on this video here, and I'll see you over here on this video next.